Episode 317 of the UFO Buster Radio report on all things space, aliens, UFOs, and missing teeth. Yep, that's it. This weekend it went down. I had 3 extractions, and oh my god, wow. I gotta say this. I know I was talking a lot of shit about the dental profession, but my dentist was really good. That was Bugs, by the way, not me. My dentist was really good. Like, I really didn't feel a thing. Now, the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that, and today, FML. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I know someone who died from a extraction, by the way. They went septic. They caught an infection in the socket, went into their bloodstream, bada bing. Spitting into that big spittoon in the sky. All because of a tooth extraction. I had 3. So I'll die 3 times over. But at the moment I'm here. Maybe about 70%. Hopefully as a week rolls by, I'll be able to get up there. But to bring myself back to speed on that UFO Buster Radio alien cheer, and to get me to the part where I can do some serious probing, I've got Christmas music for you guys. Now listen, I understand not everyone is into the Christmas season for various reasons, which we will not discuss on this podcast. However, the music is kind of cheerful, kind of gets you going in the right direction. So we have music of the Christmas variety, and some of them, just to make some of you guys happy, you could just say, hey, it's basically holiday music. And then some fuckers out there don't do holidays either. So, okay, whatever. Okay, I don't care. Listen to the music or fast forward. Like I've told you before, do that skip. 30 seconds at a time. You'll be sitting there crazy as fuck trying to skip that shit. You're looking crazy at your desk or at your inside your car or something like that. But, to each their own. Want to say hello to Dave Greenman or Dr. Green. And Gooter. Well, shit, everyone's showed up kind of early, guys. It's not even the Thursday Night Freakout, which, by the way, a little announcement here. Apparently, Big O will make it into the Thursday Night Freakout this week. He says he misses being on the pod. I wish I had, like, violins to, a few violins to play, like an orchestra. Maybe drop a tear or two. Have that sound effect of tears. But he says, hey, I missed being on the podcast, so I'm going to call on Thursday. All right, Big O, you bring it on here. But bring some real shit. Don't be coming in here with any trucker news unless you spotted a UFO, and bring it on down. The weirdest thing, so I couldn't do the podcast because, guess what? My mouth was, like, totally swollen on the innards, they say. Like, it was... I felt like a gerbil or a hamster walking around with a bunch of, food in his mouth. It just was not happening. And even right now, it's still a little swollen, but I can't continue to ignore the podcast. There's been a lot of news lately, really around science, mostly alien worlds and things like that. Not any UFO sightings of interest. Now, I did see one article that said that this week was the 2-year anniversary of the To the Stars Academy disclosure or release of the TTSA videos. I'm sorry, not TTSA. The government videos, the FLIR, Go Fast, or whatever the fuck those other videos are. It's been 2 years? Gotta think about it. Is it 2 years or 3 years? Who the fuck knows? It just goes to show you, right? We're talking about, a total of 13 years or so since it happened. Like I said before, this is going to become the Roswell for the next 20 years. That's what's going to happen. No one really gives a fuck about these videos anymore. The Nimitz incident, nobody cares. It's like, it's all BS right now. Completely BS. That's all I'm saying. Craziness. On the other side of things, we do have 2 specific stories to talk about. One is about something they found and didn't find in space. and scientists alluding to ET existence. And the other, I think it's about the same thing. Like I said, in droves sometimes, like waves. It's feast or famine when it comes to science and aliens. One time, oh, it's aliens. The next time, it's like, no, it can't be. Like, honestly, when I saw these two articles, what I pictured was like a group of scientists, right? They're really stone cold, cold-hearted scientists sitting around reading this article. And, they're bending over the table a little bit, and you can see that they have a tramp stamp that looks like Neil deGrasse Tyson, on their back. And those are the guys that are hardcore. Like, they will find the fuckers who were part of this particular two articles, and they will hunt them down. They will hunt them down, take away their thick glasses, remove their pocket protectors, and send them on their way. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. The Neo crew. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to play our first Christmas song, and then we're going to get into this first article and see what happens. We're going to talk about scientists and their love for ET that they are now coming out of the closet for. Santa is not a pedophile. Yes, he has a list of all the boys and girls. And he has some kind of a show going on according to this song. But no, he's not a pedophile. Come on. Work with me here. So it sounds like I should probably only focus on having one Christmas song, but today you guys will have to suffer through all of them. That's my plan to begin with. It turns out that stars are missing in the night sky. Now, wouldn't that freak you out? Like if you were an astronomer and you were tracking stars and then all of a sudden 100 of them had disappeared. Wouldn't that be a cause for alarm, right? Like basically if that was your employment, right, and 15% of your employment went away, you'd freak out because you're thinking you're going to get laid off. At least, astronomers from that perspective should be like, fuck, there goes my job. They're getting rid of me. They're fucking removing the stars out of the skies. I'm about to get fired in the next 2 years. Well, that's not what happened. Well, kind of, yeah. 100 stars did go missing in the night sky, and astronomers gave several reasons for this. One of them being that we are not alone. Go figure. Like I said, it happens all the time. Apparently, there's been a study basically historical and contemporary astronomical data that resulted in this issue. Because I would think it would be a fucking issue, right? Like if the sun, you woke up tomorrow and there was no sun, we'd be pretty fucking upset about that. That's all I'm saying. So 100 of these fuckers just disappeared from the sky. And we only read about it here on UFO Buster Radio and Gizmodo. Because Gizmodo is the one who I saw first put this out. Actually, this actually came out not too long ago. A few hours ago, maybe 12, 13 hours ago. So it'll make its rounds, right? I mean, come on. I would think that 100 fucking missing stars would be big news somewhere. It turns out that a research that was published in the Astronomical Journal says that these are red transients. Red transients. Don't they know all the problems that we're having with teams that go by Indian names? I mean, come on. Name that shit something else. It says about 100 have been chronicled by the authors and the team lead, Beatriz Villarroel, from Stockholm. I don't understand why scientists have such fucking difficult names. Stockholm University and the Institute of Astrophysics of the Canarias in Spain, if you're wondering. It turns out that they're totally baffled, right? They're surprised. I mean, how could I be looking at this part of the sky for all these years and all of a sudden the stars are gone? The study was part of a vanishing and appearing resource during a century of observations. It turns out that it was actually established back in 2017, Vasco for short. The researchers were hunting for objects outside of Earth's immediate area and have mysteriously found that 100 of them disappeared. So what could it be? Because we know a black star kind of just collapses on itself. A black hole. So that black hole just collapses, but there's things that happen around it. It just doesn't, poof, it's gone. It turns out that they were looking at 600 million objects in the sky, and they found a total of 151,000-ish that weren't represented in modern catalogs. Yeah, so to date, our Villarroel oh, man. And her colleagues have only had a chance to analyze only 23,000 of these, give or take a few hundred. And it turns out that that actually consists of 15% of these anomalous objects. And out of that 23,667, give or take 100, actually take 100 because 100 went fucking missing. So they came up with a lot of ideas. What could it be? What could be happening? Is it that they collapsed? They became black holes? Did they, for some reason, is there something wrong with the data? What the hell's going on? One of the scientists decided to say, hey, what if the reason why these red lights are blinking out is because they're powerful lasers used for interstellar communication? That was one idea. So, someone's leaving the light on for us so that we can communicate with them. Or somebody will fucking answer that, right? Motel 6. And so the other one is basically that possibly this could be heat that's being released from a Dyson sphere. As you guys know from previous podcasts and from reading this type of situations, that the Dyson sphere is a hypothetical megastructure that envelops an entire star. And I'm not gonna lie, you read some articles about the Dyson sphere. Some of them say that it is just a sphere outside of the star, hangs next to it, siphons power from it, and others say, like this one says, that basically it envelops the entire star. So some civilization of fucking giants builds a sphere around the star to just basically siphon all the power from it, right? Because they can't build enough power on their own planet to keep their civilization going, so they have to go straight to the star directly and suck it dry. Now, there was another person by the name of Martin Lopez Corredoria. She is a co-author of the paper, and she said in the press release that they are clear, that they wanted to be clear, that none of the events have shown any direct signs of being ET. According to Martin Lopez Corredoria, we believe that they are natural and somewhat extreme astrophysical sources. But if you believe they're natural, the fuck you gonna put that in a paper? And then the paper that's peer reviewed, I hope. I haven't seen the paper, but I would think that they would not be promoting this if it wasn't a peer reviewed document. But how do you figure that out? How do you do this? In the chat box right now, we are talking about Death Stars, Nibiru, red dot laser pointers. I mean, think about it. Could this be lasers? I personally think somebody fucked up on the team. The guys out in Spain, they screwed the pooch on this one, and they screwed up the data. Really, because how can 100 fucking stars just disappear? What's going on? But if they didn't, what does that mean? And the other thing that the article does not say is what it did say, that it was areas near our own neck of the woods here in the Milky Way, but it doesn't really say where, how far. I mean, are these on the other side of the Milky Way? Are they somewhere in between us and another galaxy? Doesn't really say. But apparently it's supposed to be near, just outside of our space. The article is in the description. Check it out. I mean, I just think, listen, it's weird. My first guess is human error. Somebody fucked up. They don't know how to count to 100 or, 23,667, give or take 100. And they guesstimated. But again, is it possible that 100 stars could just disappear out of the sky just like that? Or is it alien communication? I mean, you make the call on that. I don't know. I don't think that alien communication is it. I don't even think it's a Dyson sphere, to be honest. I think these guys were sucking up too much of that Spaniard wine. And they better watch out, because those pocket-protected Neil deGrasse Tyson tramp stamp guys, they're coming after them for sure. By the way, you guys who are live, brace yourself for another Christmas song. Here you go.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
I'm hanging on by a thread here, but the guys in the chat box are totally not cool about this Christmas music. That's like I said, going forward, we just do one. We'll just do one. Come on, give me a break. Dr. Green, regarding the last article, well, the first article, it said he's guessing that possibly these stars were not all in the same area, and chances are they were not, because they're, 100 stars and only 15% of the full sample have been analyzed by them. So I doubt very much that they were all in the same area, but still, that is a significant amount of stars to go missing. And I want to know, what is their error rate? What's their acceptable error rate here? Because I have a feeling they're falling right in there somewhere. Somewhere they are. The second article for today has to do with more scientists loving the alien probing. It's like I said before, it's crazy. It's feast or famine with these guys, And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson does have a chokehold on science when it comes to the conversation of aliens. Let's be honest about it. The guy is rude as fuck, and he makes no bones about it. He does not believe E.T. exists, not in the form that walks and talks and probes and abducts. He likes the amoeba kind, the single-celled animal, the plankton, some shit like that. He's not down with having a living, breathing E.T. flying around in ships and stuff like that. He's just not down with that. This article says that basically aliens are out there, and this astronomer says there is little doubt we are not alone in the universe. Now, the article cites a few things. It's from the Express UK, one of my favorite online publications, blah, blah, blah. The first thing they cite is the 2020 NASA launch of the rover going back to Mars to look for alien life but only to look for evidence of a past alien life. Hashtag no fucks are given. Who cares? Dang, what a waste of time. You guys are wasting so much money. Jeez Louise. The other one is SETI. SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and continuously listening to the night skies for signs of contact. By the way, there was not to derail the conversation, but there was an article that was talking about the fact that kind of like SpaceX had this whole situation with the Starlink satellites and astronomers, running up to their headquarters with pitchforks and torches, saying that Elon and SpaceX were going to pollute the night sky so they would not be able to look at stars, right? The same thing is now brewing with folks like SETI who listen for radio signals, because now they're saying if a bunch of rubber dickers go to the far side of the moon, set up bases, corporations, countries, all that radio signal nonsense is going to interfere with the SETI search, which I'm okay with, because fucking SETI is useless as fuck. I just want to say that, but yeah, that was good news for me in that respect. I don't know about you guys, but shit, damn it, that is good news. Almost forgot about my procedure. Now here's talking about SETI. There's also METI, because METI likes to send messages, but Dr. Maggie Darren Pocock. Yeah, I don't make up these names. That's her name. It's hyphenated. And it just reminds me of the dude from METI, Vakak. Well, now Vakak has competition from the Pocock. She is a scientist who says there's little doubt that humans are not alone in this the cosmos, and that we are not the only intelligent life out there. That is what the Pocock told you. Basically, this Pocock person has a quote in here. It says, "I sometimes wonder where the aliens are, but I have little doubt that they're out there. It's a numbers game." And we've heard that time and time again. We're probably looking for, of course, the needle in the haystack. We don't know how to identify alien life or how they would communicate. It might be those 100 fucking stars. We just missed it. Thanks a lot, you fuckers in Spain. You should have kept attention. You should have kept an eye on these. Well, who knows? I mean, they never would have known, right? What the hell can you do? Pocock says there are just too many planets, galaxies, solar systems, moons, and stars to think that there can't be more life elsewhere. I think, though, that there's a great many variables that would need to happen to result in us making contact. Yeah, like someone fucking calling us. Where did they find these people? Are you serious? If they want us to know that they're here, they will let us know. If it's really a phone call, how many different ways can they just take over our communications and send us some kind of a message, right? But the thing is, maybe they don't want to contact us. Sorry, sharp pain going through the gum line. Maybe they don't want to contact. Maybe they just don't want to deal with it because we're crazy as fuck. She surmises or postulates that maybe the aliens came in the age of the dinosaur and left because they had no one to communicate. Who knows? Ancient aliens, right? Where's the big hair now? I actually think that aliens arriving would be brilliant for us. Us putting aside our differences and getting our act together to face invading aliens might finally unite humanity. Jeez, plagiarize much? Ronald Reagan? That is just ridiculous, Pocock. I cannot believe you actually said that to somebody at Express UK. That's disgusting. There's a quote in here from Apollo 11 astronaut Michael Collins. And in 1999, apparently he argued that it is hubris of humans to assume that we are alone in space. This was a statement that he made to the New York Daily News, one of my favorite papers to read back in the day when I lived in New York. You know, when I used to get on the train to go to work and school, I would pick up the Daily News. I wouldn't pick up the New York Times. There's just too much highbrow bullshit on there. The shit that I didn't want to read. Daily News kept it short and simple. Michael Collins said this: "It seems to me the height of arrogance to say that our little stupid sun off in one obscure corner of an odd galaxy called the Milky Way should be the only one in the whole universe capable of developing what we sometimes refer to as intelligent life." That's one angry ass mother. Beep. That dude is angry as fuck. I mean, how long was he in space? Really? God damn. Somebody pissed in his cornflakes in space and it probably ended up in his face because of the lack of gravity. Just absolutely bananas. So there you go. So we got Vakak, we got Pocock, and we got Collins. There is a joke brewing here somewhere. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure. According to Guter, ET planktons fly UFOs. I don't even think I can argue against any fucking theory about what drives UFOs, what powers them, and where they're from. I mean, it could be anywhere at this point. You would think after all these decades of intelligent, educated people in science and psychology and every kind of form of study of humanity would be able to figure this out, but not a single one. They all have opposing theories, but not a single one can actually get it together, because neither theory from any aspect beats the other. It's like the craziest thing. What can you do except continue to come over to UFO Buster Radio and listen to the news that you don't get to listen to? So take the podcast to those moments that you like to have in private. You know, on the can, in the car, shopping, things like that. And we'll talk more about what the hell is going on. Like the article that I saw today that To the Stars Academy paid $35,000 for that piece of metamaterial, quote unquote alien metal. For what? For what? You can't write this stuff, folks. It just happens. And we get to live it. One more song for the guys in the live chat box. Guess what? It's a holiday song. But it's a cool one. It's not so holiday-ish or Christmas. But you'll see. You'll hear it. Show up again tomorrow. I'll feel a little better. We'll have some more chatting to do. Don't forget Thursday, 10 p.m. Central is the Thursday Night Freakout. And Big O has threatened to show up. Might be quite the show for you guys. Let's see what he has to bring. Yeah. Time for me to check out. Ciao.
Finns det några snälla barn här?